Hello, and welcome to My Left Ear. I'm Carrie Freeman, and this is my co-host, Petey Freeman. There he is. He's probably going to go to sleep. And we are a liberal YouTube channel, want you to know that. And it's called My Left Ear because I get messages and information from my left ear and direction. This is video 255, and it is March 13th. So here we go. I have been in a dark place, probably like a lot of people, and I was just I wanted to bring something fresh and hopeful, and I finally landed on it, actually this morning. And then what unfolded was, I'm just gonna share some things for the most part that are gonna make you feel better. That's what I decided I wanted to do. All truthful, all fact-based, but that's what I wanted to pull out because we're just, hearing a lot of worry, doom and gloom, and there is some questionable news. That's the nicest way I can say it, questionable news. So this is gonna be like a little bit more fun today. So I'm starting off with some good evidence, and it's political stuff. Believe it or not. Today, March 13th, Trump is experiencing his worst polls ever in every category, the worst today. And I went, well, that's a nice way to start off the show. So that's what I'm starting with. Now, the other thing that you may or may not have heard is, and this is coming from several different sources, that Elmo, I call him Elmo, has been heard by several sources literally crying in the Oval Office in front of Trump because he's undone by the fall of Tesla stocks. And he had himself like a tantrum in front of Trump. So that's when Trump said, well, we'll set up, a car dealership in front of the White House. Now, he didn't call it a car dealership. The rest of us are calling it a car dealership. But for a lot of people who have always thought of Donald Trump as like a used car salesman, he finally stepped into it yesterday. He could hardly get his gut into the driver's seat because he's so big. And he didn't drive because he said that Secret Service won't let him drive. But that's not true because Obama drove, and there was a picture of Obama driving. So we know that Elmo is extremely worried. He's very upset, and this is a good thing. He's been terrorizing people, and he needs to be upset. Not that he's going to learn anything. He really is a fixed figure. He is who he is. He's a malignant narcissist, and he's a sociopath, psychopath, whatever category. They're very close. I think of psychopaths as more capable of murder than sociopaths, but we'd have to have a certified psychiatrist or psychologist weigh in on that. Now, the thing that really inspired me was that Musk and DOGE, which sometimes I like to call douche, are in trouble. There is, okay, Pete, he's turning around, he's curling up. We'll bring him back so you can see him, but this is what he's joining us, but he's got his butt in my face. Go ahead, make yourself comfortable. So this was brought about, he's in trouble legally. This was brought about by Citizens for the Ethics and Responsibility in Washington. And what it means is that they've brought this legally, and that everything that Musk has done is subject to the Public Records laws, okay? The public records laws. Pete's flirting with me. Now, there is this judge, Christopher Reed, and then I guess his name or nickname is Casey Cooper. So it's Judge Cooper, black gentleman. He serves as a United States District Judge of the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. And that's, verbatim. Appointed by Barack Obama. This judge's Senate vote was unanimous. And now he's ruling over Musk DOGE. All right? So per the public records laws, now, Elon must turn everything over regarding DOGE that they've worked on, that they've done, the hirings, firings. So it's everything that they have to come before the judge and provide all this backup. So it's about all the firings, the records, the servers, all the sensitive data, just everything. All right. Now, and I'm going to read you more about what the judge said, because I looked this up, and I got a good article from Politico, and this is just too juicy, so I need to read it to you, because I feel the reason I chose this today is that I feel there's a beginning. There's a beginning of the end. The people that are protesting, that are getting Tesla dealerships closed down, and there's one in Manhattan I'll tell you about. The veterans who are really being screwed are all coming out this weekend, all over the United States, to protest. Good for them. They are really being treated badly, horribly. All right, so let me just read a little bit. Federal judge has ruled that Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, is wielding so much power that its records will likely have to be open to the public under federal law. Yay! U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper said the vast and unprecedented authority of DOGE, formerly known as U.S. Digital Service, combined with its unusual secrecies, warrant the urgent release of its internal documents under the Freedom of Information Act. It's not whimsical. It's, there's like a basis in here. The authority exercised by USDS across the federal government and the dramatic cuts it has apparently made with no congressional input appear to be unprecedented. Duh, I think we kind of knew that, right? And Cooper wrote a 37-page opinion on this. It's the first significant ruling in a growing legal push to pierce through DOGE's secretive veil, a decision decision that undercuts Musk's repeated insistence about the transparency. And the White House's refrain that Musk is simply run-of-the-mill advisor with limited decision-making authority. All right, that bullpucky, okay? Cooper said this representation is undercut by the weight of evidence that has trickled out in court and in the news. And then we're coming to the end here, that the judge noted that DOGE's speed and the fluidity of its leadership appear to be by design. He said that, by design. He is ordering rolling productions of DOGE records to begin within a few weeks. He said the rapid pace of DOGE's actions, in turn, requires the quick release of information about its structure and activities. It is especially so given the secrecy with which DOGE has operated. My left ear just went this is the beginning. This is the beginning. And you know, a few moments ago when I said that the judge was black, I did that on purpose, because whenever there's a black judge that's, you know, looking at a Trump action deal, whatever nonsense he's up to, I kind of like it, because Trump and his father had treated black people so badly when they owned apartment buildings in New York. Just horrible discrimination. So that's why I mentioned that it's just sort of this sweet justice that when Trump or Trump's people have to go before a judge that's a person of color, like Tanya Chutkan too. All right, the other thing I hinted at a minute ago is that a Tesla dealership in Manhattan had such huge crowds that they've closed permanently. Is that great or what? All right, we go on. In Britain, there are, I don't have the picture for you, but you could Google it. Posters and signs are going up everywhere in Britain, and they're really something. They say X, you know, like in Twitter, X marks the rot. You know how there's this old thing, X marks the spot. X marks the rot, with a photo of Elon doing his Nazi salute. And then it says, delete your account. It's going up all over Great Britain. It's good. It's good. We're not alone. You know, we're not alone. And so I'm not going to do a long one today, because the last time I did one that was too long, it took overnight to upload, and I just want to get this to you today. That's the reason. I feel like I'm just going with what's hanging over my head, all right? And I think I have a lot of people watching that are kind of in my situation. I do collect Social Security. I started it early because I got fired from that rehab facility after 8 years, because I wouldn't follow. That guy wanted us to do some things that were illegal, and I wouldn't do it, so he fired me. But I worked there for 8 years. But anyway, I had to go on Social Security. So anyway, what is the energy around Social Security? That was my question. What is the energy around Social Security? Because my ear, I've been wavering between like terror and no, I think we're gonna cut off that battle, and it's not going to happen. This is just my ear, you know. But when you're so emotionally connected, it's hard to know, you know, whether it's an objective or it's a clear message. But I got a clear message. It's good. What is the energy around Social Security? All right, I got the rune of protection. And it is important to know when it's time to retreat and consolidate. And this reminds me a little bit of James Carville about just sit back and let them shoot themselves in their foot. I don't think he said shoot themselves. I'm saying that. But Carville was like, just watch them screw themselves. And so some of the stuff I'm talking about today is like that. Control of emotions is at issue here, because Social Security is such an emotional issue that a lot of people will perish if it goes away. It's so serious. So it says, during times of transition and change, it's important not to collapse yourself into emotions. So we've got to stay above it. We've got to hold the energy and believe that at some point enough is enough. And I think it's starting with this DOGE investigation. So excited about that. During times of transition and change, it's important not to collapse ourselves into our emotions. So we gotta hold off on being hysterical. And you know what? That goes for me too. But it does say new opportunities are typical of this room. So with protection, know that by giving ground, like letting them hang themselves, you can actually be gaining. It is considered to be the protection rune and a rune of healing. So losing Social Security would not be healing, and it would not be protection. And it can help achieve a state of enlightenment. And it does say, you will progress. We will progress. All right. Then I get strength. Strength is a rune that's based on the wild ox, known for its strength and its focus, and it says massive strength to be put to good use. So when it appears upright, which it did, it says that we can count on sufficient strength to carry out all that is proposed. It means that we are experiencing a time of change, and I want to go no blank Sherlock, and you need courage and audacity to venture into new experiences, so it's time to commit. Now, who wrote the audacity? Was that Barack Obama that wrote the audacity of hope? I think it was Barack. If you know, remind me. I just thought of it now, so that's why I hadn't looked it up. But audacity, I think that's in one of Barack's books. Then the final rune I got, wholeness. Wholeness. This was such a nice reading. After traveling through the entire set of runes, we come to wholeness, that which our nature requires. And we all want to get back to a feeling of wholeness. You know, whatever problems we had in the country when Biden was president, we never felt like fractured and frightened. You know, it was like we've got a good daddy looking out for us. It involves the impulse towards self-realization. It represents the wholeness to which we all belong and are connected. So it speaks of basking in the glory of the sun's rays. That's just really nice to hear when we're talking about Social Security continuing. Through wholeness, a new, stronger, and more solid and higher foundation is created. It's a rune of big power, and it makes life force available to us. So like, think today, taking back my power, taking back our power. It's like the harvest from the field stored, ready to carry through the dark of winter's night. It is achievement. Achievement. Really like this reading, and I want to tell you something that, was it yesterday or the day before? I just woke up feeling really dark and really unmotivated. And I pulled runes. Like, what's going on? I pulled 3 runes on how I was feeling. It was the worst reading. I got the darkest runes, and I thought, you know what? These runes really, they do their job. They tell the truth. So I just like put them down, and, you know, I took it easy. I took it easy. So now I have a quote, and I think maybe a year or 2 ago I used this quote, but it feels appropriate today. Here it goes. In his inaugural address on January 20th, 1951, President John F. Kennedy said, "We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and success of liberty." Just feel that such an important quote to share again, and especially right now. And we need to hold on to that attitude like, oh no, you don't. You don't get to do that. So there's that. And then I do have a real sweet, good evidence story. It has nothing to do with me. I found it a couple of weeks ago, and I just sort of saved it. And I thought, this is just delightful. There is a young boy, I think now he's 15. But when this whole started, he was a boy. His name is Joe Whale. W-H-L-E, and he has a nickname, and the nickname is Doodle Boy. So Doodle Boy, and it started at the age of 12, was scolded in school for drawing too much. But his parents nurtured his artistic talent by enrolling him in an after-school art club. Good parents. All right, so he started this when he was 12, the doodles and the cartoons. And at the, he started the artwork when he was 6. I'm sorry, I had that wrong. But what happened is at the age of 12, he gained international recognition for his doodles and signed a deal with Nike, collaborating on special projects. 12, because he just loved to doodle. And Joe is from a place in the UK called Shrewsbury, Shrewsbury. And my screen just blew up. Again, we know how this does sometimes. Come on, let's get this right so I don't have to look like a jerk. Okay. And he also was hired to document a royal tour for Prince William and Kate. So what a future, Joe Whale. He has a whale of a future. How do you like that? So that's it for today. I just could not bring myself to go into the darkness today. So I hope this was a little bit refreshing, fact-based, reasons to feel a little bit hopeful. I couldn't manipulate these runes. That was the was the reading. It was very positive. So let's just stay strong. And this is a turning point. That's the thing I want to leave you with. I just feel it very strongly. But everything is slow, and we should kind of watch our expectations. But I think when I heard about this judge, who's probably my new favorite person, Judge Cooper, remember him, because he's not having it. He's like, no way. And he said, by design. This is done by design. So they can't do anything about this judge. It's happening. And, you know, I saw a picture, I'm just going to leaving you with this. I saw a picture of Elmo with one of his black t-shirts, and he had this huge gut. I mean, really big. And I just went, whoa, that's big for a fairly young man. And I looked up what, what could this lead to? This belly fat, male belly fat. And it could lead to cardiovascular heart disease. It could lead to, or if he already has, type 2 diabetes. There's something called a metabolic syndrome. So that there's another increase for heart disease, respiratory issues, cancer, and sleep apnea. I just felt very, very suspicious when I saw this, almost like a pregnancy on a man. All right. I hope this gave you a little juice today, and I'm going to turn Pete around so he can say a proper goodbye. Okay, Pete. Come in, sweetie. Everybody wants to see you. He likes to be under the lamp because he gets a little warmth from the lamp. There you go. There you go. There's Petey. I took the phone out of the... Hey, Pete. There you go. Okay, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.